Well, this is the right place to ask that question about how I got in the sport, because I grew up here in Madison, Indiana. Started off as a little boy just as a fan of boat racing like everybody else that's involved. Got the opportunity, my dad and my Uncle Tom and so on were involved in helping the local regatta put out the course and run the pit area and that sort of thing. So when I was just young, I set buoys on the course, ran a patrol boat, towed in great drivers like my friend Bill Cantrell. Later on, I got the opportunity to be a volunteer for the Miss Madison. Eventually, I worked for another team that was from here, Bill Cantrell and Graham Heath's boat. Worked for them for a while. We ran for a number of different sponsors. Worked for Jim Sedan. Boat started off being called Chet's Music, had a variety of names. Eventually got to the point where I bought my own boat. In 1985, I bought a hull from Chuck Hickling after Bill and Graham's boat was sunk in Detroit. And the rest is history, as they say. Well, you know, everybody's always looking for a good story out of that. The truth of the matter is that's what we had at the time when, for quite a while, and then as people gradually started going over to turbines. Turbines were just more expensive than we could buy, that we could afford with the sponsors that we had. So we kept running the pistons, and over time we got a little bit smarter about the engines, and then we got some help from Budweiser, Bern and Little and the Budweiser guys, and they helped us build this new boat, and Dale Van Wieringen from the Budweiser crew designed it, and Rick and Bowles helped build it. He was the main one in building it, and we got a little lucky, rolled in with it. You know, Mitch's rule was always be better lucky than good, and we took a lot of his luck and put it in a lot of our hard work, and we turned it into a pretty neat boat. Well, I think that's true. If you look just right down through the pit area where we're standing, there's 6 or 7 boats the same generation of our boat. Basically, they're a copy of the Budweiser boat called the T6. And there's at least 6 of them here and some others that are very close to them. And they're just fast. And so we have excellent teams with excellent sponsors like the Chrysler Jeep sponsor we have. And they we all put a fast boat on the water. So we've had some great racing as seen in Evansville last week. Well, that slow start, I think my main problem with a slow start is, and I've never liked that start, and we've tried everything as a sport. The ABRA has. We've moved the lines, and we've had speed limits, and we've done all kinds of things, off-plane rules, to try and make the beginning of the race more exciting. Most of us that grew up watching Unlimited Hydroplane race, one of the things that sticks in our mind as fans is these beautiful starts, particularly here at Madison. We have this long straightaway coming under the bridge, big rooster tails. That's why the fans come here. That's one of our most exciting points in our sport. And me personally, I think it's really dull when they all come very slow to the line like they've been doing. The turbines have changed that because they can accelerate so quickly from slow to fast. I'm not sure that I would concede the fact that we can't go very slow. We really don't choose to go very slow. I'll leave it at that. Well, I think the most important thing the ABRA can do is besides many of the things we're working on, is develop new race sites. And there are a number of people that are working on that, and it requires a great deal of capital to go into place and start a race site from the very beginning. But I think that's the only way we can grow. We need to show sponsors that we have major venues all over the country and that we're attracting large crowds over the country. Then the sponsors have an interest in being in front of those crowds. And currently with the 6 races that we have, it's just not enough. Well, Mike Webster bought the boat from us that I refer to as the Fred boat because it was built out of Fred Leland's molds. That boat wasn't terribly successful for us because we weren't really quite so aware of what it would weigh when we built it, and putting a turbine package in it would make it weigh like what Fred runs today, which is competitive. Putting an Allison package in it made it too heavy, the construction techniques and the materials we used. So when Mr. Webster takes that boat and converts it over to a turbine, it'll be right in the weight group. It'll be in the 7,000 pounds, which is where about half the turbines are. And it's an excellent boat. You know, that boat really doesn't have a lot of time on it. It has very good sponsons, the setup on the sponsons and the shoes. It's even when we were running it with an Allison, and it was the third fastest turning boat in the fleet at the time, and we think it'll be a fairly competitive boat. It'll be right there.
I know he's been here in Evansville, also this weekend too, kind of watching, taking notes, and watching everybody. It's nice to see a new face in the sport. That's what the sport needs.
Right. I think he brings to the sport what has to be brought to it, in that he has a great deal of excitement. He's really looking forward to being in the sport, and it takes that, because he's starting to realize, as he's been around other boats and so on, how much work it is, but you have to have that attitude that you want to do it no matter what, and that's what he seems to have. This is the third year Jimmy King's been driving for us, and he's really great fit for our race team. You know, Mitch Evans drove for us for a long time, and Mitch is a personal friend of everybody on the boat besides just our driver. And Jimmy fills that bill much like Mitch Evans does. Jimmy is a quiet guy, very pleasant guy, has a wonderful family, and yet he has that competitive fire burning inside that you have to go out and race these things hard. He's definitely a racer. He's the kind of racer we like being associated with. So he's done an excellent job. Yeah, I don't. It's hard to look at him and call him little now, huh? Yeah, well, pretty much. It's a real pleasure for me to have him on the team, and most of the guys on our team have been with us for a long time. So it's a constant struggle to keep people fresh and to keep, you know, being motivated for the right reasons, for the race reasons and so on. But overall, our guys do a really good job. We're always real pleased with it.